Here are the 3 players that I believe the Detroit Lions should not trade.
Hold on, do it. Yeah. Oh my God.
Okay, so recently we've heard a lot of talk about players that Detroit Lions could trade, and obviously when the season is coming up, you have a lot of players that you have to get rid of, whether or not you want to cut them or trade them. You have to make a lot of big decisions, and with that being said, there are a lot of players that we've talked about that could be potentially traded. Now, some of them I agree with, I'd be fine with, but there's some other ones that I'm like, please don't do this. Please don't make this trade because this guy is too beneficial to our team, and I think there's multiple guys I could have put on here. But then again, I have to be realistic. Like, I can't say everybody. Obviously, I want no one to leave. But at the same time, you know, I have to be 100% realistic. And here are the 3. Now, these guys, I'm not saying they're going to be traded, but they've been in rumors before, okay? So let me just bring that up. And number 1 that on this list may not have any chance of getting traded. This guy is just a complete, like, we're not even sure what's going on with number 1, but we'll get into that in a second. So starting off this list, coming in at number 3, we have Dahl. Please do not trade Dahl. I like Dahl because of his versatility. He brings so much versatility to the Detroit Lions. I don't think there's any way that the Detroit Lions could trade this guy. I don't think they will because this guy can play multiple offensive line positions. This guy can play the fullback. Like, the fact that he can do this as an offensive lineman, he has the athletic ability to move around. I would not trade this guy. These guys are someone that you don't always find. You don't find players like this. And plus, he is a good depth player. Injuries are going to happen on the offensive line. Injuries are going to happen throughout the entire team. So to have a guy like Dahl that can step in, that's been used to this offense, that can do multiple things, that can move around, play the fullback, there's no reason to trade Dahl. I really hope they don't make this trade. I hope he goes nowhere. I really don't want to see them cut him, but hopefully they can hold on to Dahl, and he comes in at number 3. Next up on the list, coming in at number 2, I have Marvin Jones Jr. Please don't trade Marvin Jones. Like, do not trade Marvin Jones. The only way I would consider trading Marvin Jones is maybe 1 or 2 years down the line. Not right now. Not before the season. Not during the season. Do not trade Marvin Jones Jr. If we trade Marvin Jones, our passing game will completely fall off. And we saw it last year. It makes it a lot harder when you only have one really go-to guy. I understand we have some nice little pieces. We have some young guys. We got Fulgham. We got Powell. We got all these young guys down there. But Marvin Jones Jr. is a solid number 2 cornerback wide receiver. Some people's mind, he's our number 1 wide receiver. And you can't get rid of that. We need to have more than 1 wide receiver. It just helps the offense out so much. And honestly, in return, we probably wouldn't be getting a great deal. Especially if we're just going to take a draft pick. Because if the Detroit Lions are trying to win this season, it makes no sense to hold on to a draft pick. Because that's not going to be for this year. The draft already happened. So if you're grabbing a draft pick, it'll be for future years, and that doesn't help you at all. If you trade Marvin Jones Jr., you better get someone in return that can fill that void. Or you better have someone lined up through free agency, some way to fill that void. Do not trade Marvin Jones Jr. I like Marvin Jones. I think when he's healthy, he's amazing. This dude is a deep threat. Like, he's not the fastest, but this dude will catch a lot of balls you throw deep. He's had some amazing moments with the Lions. We need this guy on the team. Don't trade Marvin Jones. I want the Detroit Lions to win this season. And finally, coming in at number 1, a guy that may not be traded. We don't really know what's going on. You probably know who it is. That's Darius Lee. Don't trade Darius Lee. And this one may be controversial. Maybe some people think you should. I don't think the Lions should trade Darius Lee. One reason why, I just don't see them getting anything in return right now that could benefit them. If you think about it like this, if the Detroit Lions got a pick back for Darius Lee, when we're trying to figure out who our number 2 cornerback is, we wouldn't have a number 1 or number 2. I don't want to see that happen. I want to win this year, and we can't do that without a solid number 1 cornerback. You have to have a number 1. At least you have to have a number 2, and we don't have that either. So that means Rashawn Melvin and T. Taylor would likely be the 1 and 2 cornerbacks, unless Amani came out and he was outstanding. But I don't want to put that on a rookie. So with that being said, trading him down the line makes sense. I wouldn't do it because I like Darius Lee. I think he has a great work ethic. I think he's outstanding. But with that being said, if you're going to do it, wait. Don't do it this season. Please, Lions, do not trade Darius Lee. I don't want to see this guy gone. And even if you do trade him, you have to get something really good in return. Like, you have to get a player that can instantly come in and probably be your number 1 cornerback. And you're not going to find that very often, because if you're finding that, then you're probably not trading him away. Like, no team is going to take Darius Lee to give you their number 1 cornerback, like a good one. I'm not saying pick up some scrub number 1 cornerback. I'm saying pick up one that's near the same talent level. If you're doing that, you're really not going to get anything in return, because no team is going to make that trade anyways. I don't want to pick for Darius Lee, at least this season. This year we can win. And if we're going to win, we have to have a solid number 1 cornerback that we can count on, and that is Darius Lee. We can't have Darius Lee going anywhere. So those are my 3 players that I really hope the Detroit Lions do not trade. Dahl, Marvin Jones Jr., and Darius Lee. Let me know in the comment section some players that you hope the Detroit Lions don't trade. Like, take it off of the trade block. Don't even talk about it. And also, if you guys like the Madden content, you guys like the Madden takeover, all that stuff, stuff. That's over on DoseOfDion Gaming, so you guys should definitely go check out that channel. The link is in the description at the bottom. It says check out my gaming channel. You click on that, you're going to be right over there. I did post a video yesterday, so that's really exciting. The next episode of Detroit Lions Takeover. So if you're like, where's it at? What's going on? We had a super exciting game, like down to the wire. So definitely check that out. You got to go to that channel. Also click the link in the description if you guys want to go to my shop. But anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you, Brad, for watching, and I'm out.